Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, or if you're a first-time visitor, consider subscribing. I'd love to have you as one of my full-time viewers. So, if you've watched my stuff, you know I like to find different painting effects, and I really like rust. And so now we have this, and I'd like to thank Sean's RC Adventures, because I asked him how he got his so rusty, and he told me about this stuff, the Modern Masters 3-piece set. This is a 3-stage application. We're going to go over how to do it and what it ended up looking like afterwards. So you can see all of this I've done so far. This was my first spot I tried it on. Here's what it looked like previous, which, you know, not bad, but that looks a lot more realistic in my opinion. And I also had a happy accident on this one. See where this area is? When I painted this body, if any of you watched on my G-Made Buffalo, I took and put ground up iron shavings inside of the paint. After I painted, I sprinkled it on so it would rust naturally over time, at least a little bit. And when I used the activator, it also started activating that into rusting in areas. So that was a kind of a cool little side bonus. Well, I just did this area. It's not fully cured yet because it takes it a while to cure after you spray the activator on to start looking really nice and rusty, but it's getting there already. And I probably just did this 20 minutes ago or so, sprayed it on. So it's coming along. So what I was going to do today is go over how to apply this stuff and the different things you can do. I was going to try to apply it in like some of the areas down to the rust pitting on this, and also on this, and then go through a couple different techniques to apply the activator. Now let me get the camera set up to where I can show you what I'm doing, and we'll get started. We're set up now, so the first step you're going to want to do is take this Metal Effects primer, and you want to get it good and shook up. I shook this one up previously, and just get you a little bit out. You can use anything for a palette, old butter bowl lid, piece of plastic container from something you've opened up, just about anything works. And then you're going to want to take your brush and find the areas where you're going to want to start adding the rust. And start dabbing on your primer, paint it on however you want. Mine out this way a little bit. Now, I didn't even bother washing this truck off from the last time I ran it because I figured it's going to be a rusty, dirty mess anyway. Might as well leave it dirty. And this primer doesn't spread on too bad. And I'm going to go ahead and start hitting some of these rust holes over here. A little bit through there. Now they suggest you leave this dry for a half hour between coats. And that's what I've been doing. And I've noticed when it comes time for the activator, that's kind of a step that you need to play with a little bit. Alright, you got the idea of the primer. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the rest of this off camera so we can move on to the next step. Well, I've gone through and applied my primer wherever I wanted. Now they suggest you put on 2 coats of that as well, and I did. And so we're going to move on to the iron paint next. This is another one they want you to put on 2 coats, a half hour between each coat, and this stuff's pretty daggone thick. I'll show you here, I've already applied some of it. Alright, just look at that. And this stuff is all acrylic based, so cleanup's easy, it's just water. I'm going to take my brush and just start dabbing that on there. And there's no wrong way to do this. This is your creation. You're just putting this stuff all over the place and hoping the chemicals give you a good chemical reaction. But I found out some of the accidents on weathering turn out to be the best spots. Well, I'm going to go through and get all this painted on. Showing you what we're dealing with here. And this stuff dries pretty quick, even though it says a half hour dry time. I'm guessing, you know, as long as you're somewhere warm with a slight breeze, it's probably ready for the second coat in 15 minutes. At least that's what I've done several times throughout messing with this stuff over the past couple days. Alright, I will apply the rest of that off camera, and then we'll get to putting on our rust activator afterwards and seeing the final product. So the iron paint is all on, it's dried, and we're ready for the Metal Effects Rust Activator. Now they say you should apply this, then wait 5 minutes and apply it again. Sometimes I figured out you do need a third or fourth coat. You just have to play with it. It depends a lot on how thick you put the paint on in places too. If you put it on thin, you'll get that nice light rust, that good orange stuff, and then wherever it's darker, you get more of a darker rust. Kind of keep that in mind. It's a little effect you can play with. So what I'm going to do is just spritz it on. And I've been just taking a wet cloth and wiping off the windows. They're dirty on the inside too, so it's not actually going to make them clean. But I figured, so far it hasn't hurt anything, but just kind of help keep that stuff off the clear a little bit. And anywhere else you don't want to just leave it sitting. Now the other thing I have done, and that's the first way I apply this. The second way, you can already see it's starting to work. It says it takes about 30 to 40 minutes. Sometimes it takes a little longer than that. And the second way is putting it on by brush. And I have put the first coat on this already, and it's actually ready for the second coat. All I've been doing is just taking the top off, dipping a brush in there, and painting it on. And you can use this if you need an area that's more targeted and you're not wanting to just spray down everything like on this. I just need specific detailed areas. I don't want to cover the whole thing. Oh, let's go ahead and let that all set up, dry. I'll add the second coat when the time's time, and we'll look at the finished product and see what you think. So we're back, and I've let this set all night. It says you only need to let it set for a half hour to 45 minutes, but I found you get a better effect after long term letting it set for a good 24. Well, this is what we came up with, and I think this rust came out looking amazing. Yeah, across the roof here. All down across the hood. And over here on the Cross Demon, look at this headlight. And I really like these spots through here. Let her focus in, come on. They just really came out looking good. This spot here is probably one of my favorites. Then you got the column support over in the bed itself. Now this is the truck where we just applied it with brushes and then applied the activator with the brush as well. And it seemed to work pretty good. I'll flip back of the Blazer around. Oh, can't forget about 11 Charlie. So I'm really happy with this Rust Effects. I'm gonna have to give a big shout out to Sean's RC Adventures right now. If he hadn't have told me about this, I don't know what I'd have done, because this is amazing. This stuff actually is rust and it comes out looking great. I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description below. And I'm also going to leave a link to this Metal Effects Rust. It's like $20 off of Amazon. And you can buy more of the Activator, because I think you're going to run out of that first. But alright, thanks for checking out this rusting tutorial and trying out a new product. Well, stay safe out there, and hope you all have a great day.